Welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into an absolute political earthquake, a sitting U.S. senator decisively losing his seat. We're going to break down exactly what happened in the 2026 Louisiana Republican primary, where Senator Bill Cassidy's re-election bid came to a stunning, grinding halt, and what this specific race reveals about the mechanics of modern politics. It's really fascinating.
Just one word: over. That was Donald Trump's immediate reaction to the election results. I mean, that instantly sets the stage for the massive stakes we're dealing with here, right? This wasn't just some local political squabble. It was a highly visible national proxy battle that drew immediate fire from the very top. It really goes to show that even state-level primaries are playing out on the biggest national stage right now.
So we need to figure out exactly how Senator Bill Cassidy failed to even make the top two in his own primary. Think about it. For an incumbent senator, someone with universal name recognition and massive campaign war chests, to completely miss the runoff, that is incredibly rare. It sent shockwaves through political circles across the country, leaving analysts scrambling to piece together exactly what went wrong.
To dissect this huge upset, we're going to break it down into four main parts: the Louisiana upset itself, the sheer power of Trump's endorsement, a massive shift in the primary system, and finally, what this means for the future of the GOP. Let's get right into it. Starting off with part one, the Louisiana upset.
The numbers here paint a really stark picture. Congresswoman Julia Ludlow absolutely ran away with it, capturing 45% of the vote. Behind her was Louisiana Treasurer John Fleming with about 28%, and trailing in a distant third, the sitting Senator Bill Cassidy with just 25%. Now, since no single candidate crossed that magic 50% threshold to win outright, Ludlow and Fleming are heading to a runoff, meaning by finishing third, Cassidy is entirely out of the picture. His bid for another term is officially over.
So, how did we get here? Let's move to part two, Trump's endorsement power.
The real catalyst for this defeat didn't just happen overnight. It was actually set in motion years ago. Rewind to 2021. Following the events of January 6th, Cassidy was one of only 7 Republican senators who actually voted to convict Donald Trump during his impeachment trial. That single vote immediately put a massive target on his back within the MAGA movement, almost right after the Louisiana GOP formally censured him. Analysts point to that exact moment as the point of no return, creating an almost insurmountable hurdle for his 2026 re-election.
Fast forward back to this election season. Donald Trump threw his absolute full weight behind Congresswoman Julia Ludlow. And throughout the campaign, he didn't hold back on Cassidy, constantly tagging him with one devastating word: disloyal. This dynamic totally shifted the race. It turned a state primary into this major national stress test of Trump's endorsement power. Suddenly, it was less about local policy and almost entirely about where candidates stood with the former president.
And honestly, the outcome speaks volumes. Political experts are looking at this result as undeniable proof of Trump's unmatched, enduring influence over the Republican base. His endorsement of Ludlow, paired with his aggressive opposition to a sitting incumbent, clearly resonated with voters, especially in a conservative stronghold like Louisiana. It basically screams that his voice is still the absolute primary driver of voter behavior within the party's core. If there were any lingering doubts about his grip on the electorate, well, this primary pretty much erased them. Now, let's look under the hood for part 3. The primary system shift.
Beyond the high-profile endorsements, there's a massive, hidden mechanical shift that analysts believe totally sealed Cassidy's fate. For the longest time, Louisiana used an open jungle primary system. In that setup, every candidate is on the exact same ballot, regardless of party, and any registered voter can jump in. Historically, that was a huge lifeline for moderate candidates because they could pull in independents or crossover voters. But Louisiana recently switched things up to a closed, party-based primary. That meant only registered Republicans could vote in this specific contest. This structural change massively favors candidates who appeal straight to the most loyal, active party base. It completely stripped away the broad, moderate coalition that a candidate like Cassidy desperately needed to survive the backlash from his 2021 vote.
Which brings us to our final takeaway, part 4, the future of the GOP.
Republicans everywhere watch this race like a hawk because it is a glaring indicator for the future. For years, moderate Republicans who clashed with Trump held out hope that there was still room in the party tent for independent voices to win. But looking at races exactly like this one, analysts are suggesting that Trump's immense influence, paired with structural overhauls like closed primaries, are going to thoroughly dominate Republican politics heading deep into the 2026 cycle. The literal mechanics of winning have fundamentally shifted. So, between the hard election data, the sheer weight of these endorsements, and these crucial changes to how voting actually works, we are left with a massive, lingering question. Can any Republican openly oppose Trump and still survive politically in today's landscape? It's a fascinating dynamic, and it's absolutely going to shape the future of American politics. I'd love to hear your take on this, so drop your thoughts below, and make sure you're subscribed for more of these deep dive explainers.